I want to give you the real-time example of the runtime polymorphism. For example, let me declare here one class, that is vehicle. And we all know each and every vehicle has number of wheel. So which vehicle has how many wheel? So that is depend upon the vehicle. Suppose if you say that, sir, I have the vehicle that is four-wheeler and that is car, then you can say the number of wheel is 4. If you say that, sir, I have a vehicle bike, then the number of wheel is 2. Suppose if you say that, sir, I have a rickshaw, then the number of wheel is 3. But until and unless you say which vehicle is, I cannot give you the number of wheel. So I'm just writing here return 0. We all know that each and every vehicle has the functionality of brake. So is brake is available in the vehicle? Again, this functionality that is depend upon the which vehicle is. So by default I am writing here that is written false. So there are two functionality available in my class vehicle. Now I have another class that is the child of vehicle and that is car. So car is extending from vehicle. Now I want to override the function that is number of wheel over here. So here you can override the function number of wheel. Now you have an exact idea. How many wheel available in car? It is 4. Is brake is available in car? Yes. Then you can say that is written true. And here even you can print that system.out.println car has a brake. So you can just implement the functionality over here. Now let me create here one class inheritance demo number 9. Now I'm declaring here function that is main. Now I want to create an instance. If I am creating an instance that is vehicle v equal to new vehicle. Now if I am printing here system.out.println v.number of wheel, then how many wheel available in the vehicle? So you don't know how many wheel available in the vehicle until and unless you talk about which vehicle. So it will simply return you 0. Java C inheritance demo number 9.java. And if you run Java inheritance demo 9, then you will get 0 over here. So we all know that the vehicle does not have the number of wheels 0. So if you think that, sir, I don't want to allow user to create an object of this vehicle class, then you can take this class as an abstract. That is the one thing. Second, but suppose if this V is pointing to car, it means if father is pointing to car, then father can access all the functionality that father has given to his child. And number of wheel function, you can say this is method overriding, and hence it is the method overriding. I can do the runtime polymorphism. And here if father is pointing to child, now I can access the car has 4 wheel. So what is the wonderful thing here? Using the instance of father, I can access the function of child. Not only this, suppose if you have one more class available over here, and that class is, that is for example bike. Now how many wheel available in the bike? That is, you can say two-wheeler. Now here also I can write that the bike has a brake. So this both are the function that you can say that is overridden function. Now if father is pointing to that is a bike, then you can call the function that is number of wheel of bike. So if you compile this and if you run this, you will get that vehicle has how many wheel. So until and unless you specify which vehicle, you will not get the number of wheel. But if you say that vehicle car, then it's a 4-wheel. Vehicle that is bike, then it's a 2-wheel. One more thing that you can do here is what? Suppose if this function that is, let me call here one function, and that is brake. So if I am writing here system.out.println v.isBreak, now until and unless you says that which vehicle, you will not get the proper result, and that is the reason why I will get false here. So which vehicle break you are talking about? So I'm getting false here. But if you call this function over here, you can say this is runtime polymorphism, this is dynamic method dispatch. Here I will get four-wheel car has a brake, and it's a true. Here I can say two-wheeler bike has a brake, and it's a true. And here you can say vehicle, if it is which vehicle you cannot specify, then the wheel is 0 and the brake, that is false. But in which case father cannot access the property of the child? Suppose if it is not overridden in the father. For example, if superclass does not have this function, that is isBreak. If this isBreak function is not available, then using the instance of father, I cannot access the isBreak function. If I am trying to access this, I will get an error. I cannot access the function which is not overriding. It means this function is not available in the father, then it's not method overriding, right? But if you write comment over here and if you rerun this, then father will be able to access all the function which is given to his child, and that is the only function, that is number of wheel, and the number of wheel is available in the car as well as it is available in the bike. Now see here, if a vehicle is pointing to itself, it's a 0 number of wheel. Vehicle is pointing to car, then it's a 4 wheel. If vehicle is pointing to bike, then it's a 2 wheel. But if child does not override the function, right? If child does not override the function, and if a vehicle is pointing to car, then it will simply return the 0. So I will get 0 in case of car. Now, the child has not overridden the functionality. What if I want to make the overriding compulsory? If you want to make the overriding compulsory, then you can use the functionality of the abstract class. So, whenever you want to make your overriding compulsory, at that time you can declare that particular function as an abstract. So let me give the another version of this demo number 9. Let me save this. Inheritance demo number 10 dot Java. Now I want to declare what? I want that this number of wheel must declare by the car class. If car is not declaring the method number of wheel, then I want to raise an error. In this situation, if you want to make something compulsory for your child, then you can declare your function as an abstract. And let me mention here some rules for the abstract class. Abstract methods does not have a body. It means you cannot write the curly braces over here in the abstract method. If you compile this, then you will get the error, that is Java inheritance demo 10, and you will get the error that abstract method cannot have a body. So the rule is abstract methods cannot have a body. One thing. So I cannot write a body over here. Rule number 2, if you declare method as an abstract, class must be abstract. So if your method is abstract, then class must be abstract. If you are not declaring class as an abstract, you will get an error. And the error is vehicle is not an abstract class. So your vehicle class must be abstract. So you can say if method is abstract, then your class must be abstract. Vice versa is not true. It means if your class is an abstract, then it is not compulsory. it is not compulsory to write the abstract method. It means abstract class may have, non-abstract method, and an abstract class may not have abstract methods. So abstract class, it means once you declare method as an abstract, class must be abstract. It is true. But if your class is abstract, then it doesn't mean that it is compulsory to write the abstract method. Abstract class may not have the abstract method, as well as abstract class may have the non-abstract method. In short, whenever you declare the class as an abstract, it doesn't mean that the method must be abstract. But whenever you declare a method as an abstract, then class must be abstract. Suppose if you run this particular code, that is javac inheritance demo 10.java, then also you will get an error. Why? The one error is that this car does not implement the function that is abstract function. It means that the abstract makes the compulsory for the child class to override the things. So you can say abstract keyword is used to promote the method overriding. Method overriding is compulsory for the class. If you declare a method as an abstract, then abstract method is used to promote the method overriding in child class, in subclass. So child must have to implement this function number of will. If you don't implement this function, you will get an error. I'm getting an error over here that this class is not abstract class and you have to override the function. So I have to override this function. If I am removing the command, then also I will get the error. And now the error, that is, you can say that is the final error. We cannot create an instance of abstract class. So we cannot create instance of abstract class. But we can create the reference. So our all fundamental is solved now. It means you cannot create an instance of vehicle v equal to new vehicle. It is not possible. Why? Because vehicle class is an abstract class, and whenever your class is abstract, you cannot create the instance. So what to do in this case? Very simple. Instead of creating an instance of vehicle, you can directly create a reference of vehicle. So you can write vehicle v equal to new car. So if you write here vehicle v equal to new car, then this v is referring to car object. You can say this v is the reference which pointing to car class. So whenever this v is pointing to car class, you can access the number of wheel of the car. Let me make it here, that is inheritance demo number 10 in a class. Let me save this. Let me compile this code and it will be compiled successfully. You can run your code, that is Java inheritance demo 10. Now what is the biggest advantage? The biggest advantage is at the time of the declaration, I was not able to answer vehicle has how many wheel. Now it is solved. Why? Because instead of writing the written 0, I cannot write here body. So my problem is resolved over here. One thing. Second thing is what? Whenever you declare your method as an abstract, class have to override this function. If you are not overriding this function, then you will get an error. It means child have to override the functionality of the father. If child is not overriding, then you will get an error. So in short, you can say this is the way you can make the runtime polymorphism compulsory in your class. And if you want to do the runtime polymorphism compulsory, then you can declare your method as an abstract. These are the points that you need to remember. Abstract method does not have a body. If you declare method as an abstract, class must be abstract. If your class is an abstract, then it is not compulsory to write the abstract method. Suppose if you don't want to write here abstract method, then it's okay. Let me write here one more class so you people can get the idea. Abstract class For example, taste. And this class has one function, that is void display. Abstract class might have non-abstract method. This is non-abstract method. And abstract class may not have the abstract method also. This program will compile successfully and there will be no error at all. In short, you can say abstract class may not have the abstract method. Abstract class may have the non-abstract method. We cannot create the instance of the abstract class. An abstract method is used to promote the method overriding in the subclass. Suppose if you want to restrict the user for the method overriding, then you can declare the final, and that we will discuss in the next lecture. So that's it from my side.